Okay, Ludovic Pommeret, welcome to Silverton. Welcome to Hardrock. Your second time here, first time running. How does it feel before your first Hardrock?
Yeah, 2 days before the race, it's always the same, a bit stress, and kind of impatient, you can say in English,
yes,
impatient,
yep.
to take the start, because then now the training is done, so we'll see.
Yeah, and you have been doing a lot of training. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, say a few words about your journey to get to Hardrock, because I can remember in the last few years, you and I talking about you finally being able to do it. The last 2 years you've been at Western State. So maybe when did you first learn about Hardrock, and how long have you been waiting for your opportunity?
So I participate to the lottery 5 times. So that's the 5. And that I get the bib. Yep. So it's a long time that I know this race, and I know that it's quite long to get in. So that's why I apply. But you need to keep a race, qualification race, and that's not that easy.
Right.
So to do 100 miles.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If anybody's able to get their qualifier every year, it seems like you are, and you continue to perform at such a high level. The last 2 years, like I said, you've been at Western States. Were you there this year?
No.
No, you weren't.
No.
You were here training. Yeah.
No, focus on Hardrock. I'm not Courtney,
Yeah, right.
So it's not the same kind of training for me for Western and Hardrock. So
yeah. Well, after your race at Western States last year, you came out and you paced your friend Aurélien Dunant-Palaz, fellow Frenchman, to a victory here at Hardrock on Bastille Day, no less. Say a few words about that experience, sharing it with Aurélien on a day when he was able to be victorious, and maybe some things that you learned that will be helpful for you as you run the event on Friday.
So it was an opportunity to discover the race. And the first time that you are coming in, it's quite surprising, I think, because I'm used to bigger race, even if Western State is smaller than like UTMB. But this is another level here, and it's different. Also for the landscape, for the altitude. So it's this pacing was a learning for me, and it was good to do with Aurélien, even if I'm not sure that I bring something for him, because he was almost in the same timing that the record, and then he lose 1 hour when I did the pacing. So I don't know if I was a good pacer, but no, that was good to see that. With Aurélien we were really alone in the mountain, and it was during the night. So you were really. Yeah, it was really wild. So
he sent me a message after the race last year, wondering about how his time compared to historical times, because last year the course, I think, was in much worse condition. There was a lot more snow.
Yeah, there was more
I think
snow.
Aurélien's performance last year is up there with one of the best, even if it was slower than Kilian's time, Francois' times, etc. But yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, like having that experience, though, I'm sure you view that as something that will be helpful for you for the race on Friday. Just having spent time on the course, going through the night, seeing some of the trails. Is there anything from those hours with Aurélien that particularly sticks with you, or something that will keep you inspired through the night, maybe this year's race?
Yeah, Aurélien did a good race, and he was really good downhill also.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of inspiration.
Yeah.
What I remember with Aurélien is this pass just before Island Lake, so in the other side,
Grand Swamp Pass. Yes.
Yeah. So this one was a bit scary, because you start in the rocks, you do one step up, one step down, and then we finish maybe not at the wrong path, because we finish on an icy slope.
Yep.
And it was a bit scary because it was really hard snow. So even if there's no big fall, you will take speed and arrive on the rock. That's not. So this part I remember, was special one.
I went up Grand Swamp Pass yesterday. You guys will be coming down Grand Swamp Pass this year.
That's much easier.
It's in much better condition, and it's a lot easier. Although no part of the Hardrock course is easy. And speaking of which, when you've been here, you've spent a lot of time on the course. I think you even did the full soft rock.
I did it twice. Yeah.
You did it twice. Okay,
Yeah.
so talk about the training that you've done here at Silverton, the recce that you've done, and maybe any learnings that you've had as a result.
So I arrived almost 1 month before the race, and goal was to get acclimatized to the altitude. And I start with a soft rock with my backpack, the tent, mattress, and all the food for 4 days. And that was really hard. And when I start in Silverton, the first pass was okay, but then the two other, I slept a bit above Telluride on the way to Kruger's.
Yep.
I was really destroyed. So I don't know if
I did that yesterday, going the opposite direction without a heavy pack, and I'm completely destroyed today.
That was nice soft rock alone and sleeping in wild. It was good, but really really difficult. I found it really difficult. Then I did a second one with Camille Bruyas and Marianne Hogan. With a crew, so with lighter in trail mode, let's say. That was still hard, but a bit less. So, and but doing this twice, I still can't imagine how we should do for 1 day to do the race in 1 day and not in 4.
I know.
So we'll see.
It's very hard. Is there, as somebody who's done UTMB multiple times, Diagonal Des Fous, is there anything about Hardrock that sticks out to you that makes it uniquely challenging compared to those other two events?
UTMB, I think it's much easier. I mean, on the trails, it's quite runnable. And here, there are some parts that are really runnable because we have a lot of dirt road. I think we are more than 30 kilometers, maybe more. Yeah. So that's why the timing, final timing for Hardrock are not so long. Yep. If it would be only a single trail, it would be really longer.
Very slow.
So I think it's something between UTMB and Diagonal Des Fous.
Yeah. Not easy.
Yeah, not easy. There's one parameter more. It's the altitude for sure.
Right. Yeah. Are you starting to feel confident and acclimatized to the altitude? Because it does take a while.
Confident. I don't know, but better for altitude. But still, there's a lack of oxygen, or I'm missing when I'm at 4,000 meters. Still difficult to breathe. So.
Say a few words about the French contingent that's here. Francois was just here having a conversation with us. Your wife Celine is here with us. Obviously, like Simon, the photographer, is here, and Arthur is here. So say a few words about that team that you guys have traveled with and who you've done the soft rock with and what it's like to have, your fellow French athletes here competing with you. Yeah,
it's good. It's good to have our pacer, and so speak the same language. I'm not so for English. It's more difficult, and there's a lot of French because there's the runners, but there's also the crew and the pacers, some photographers. So there's a lot, and there's a good spirit between the athletes. We'll see during the race who has done the better training, who is the stronger, but there's no really. I don't know how you say, but concurrence or it's quite friendly.
Of course. Well, that's another thing that maybe you could say a few words about, going back to the comparison with the UTMBs and Diagonal Des Fous. Obviously, those races are spectacular, but it's so different than Hardrock. Where, for example, Francois was just talking about how he and Zach Miller were sitting at the coffee shop for an hour, able to just have a conversation here
and
in
free,
Silverton.
And without a lot of people coming.
If you did that in Chamonix, there'd be a line out the door.
That's a different spirit, and that's really different. And when you see the start line of Hardrock, just 1 minute before the start, everybody is around, and there's no really line to start. So that's really different in this way, and it's good also to be free, let's say, and that you are not. I don't know if it's English or oppressed.
Yes.
Is it? So yeah, that's different. And for sure you have less pressure than before UTMB.
Yeah.
With all the medias, and that's less on this race.
Yeah, this is low pressure media stuff. Say a few more words about your training and preparation, maybe before you arrived here. What have you done this season, and how have you sort of set up your calendar so that you can have a great day on Friday?
So as usual, during the winters, I'm doing skimo. But I get injured in the middle of the season, so I have to take some day off and then start the trail with a shorter distance, where I feel again my injury, and so the preparation was not the one expected, at least for the beginning. Since I'm here, it's not so bad. It's what I wanted to do at least, and I did 2 preparation race, one in France, but quite technical, and the other valued by UTMB in Argentina. This one doesn't really match with what we will see on Hardrock and what we will do in Hardrock. It was much more runnable, except the last part. So that was a 130K, so it's a good preparation for that to spend time on the race, but not on for the technicity of the trail. That's a bit different.
Yeah.
But before I arrive here, not so good training. But I think I did when I arrived in Silverstone. I did what I wanted. Small pains, small injuries, but let's see. It's only 100 miles.
Yeah. So one of the other things I'd love to talk to you about is enjoying races in different ways. I think the last time you and I were on the same start line was Diagonal des Fous in 2021. You won the race with Danny Jones.
I remember we get the pressure because we knew that you finish quite fast the race usually
here at Hardrock,
and all the you sometimes you don't have the right information, and they say they are coming back. So we were pushing with Daniel. I was with Daniel. And I saw the picture of you, and you were laid down for American that are used to Western. It's quite surprising to have something with because it was warm. That you were not supporting this warm weather.
It's a very hard race. I'd love to go back someday. But the reason I brought it up is because I know last year you did it with your wife, who's here with us. So as somebody who's been a champion at Diagonal des Fous and then enjoying it in a different way, I'm sure the audience would love to hear you just talk about both those experiences together.
Yeah, it's different, but it's not easier. And you can think that do it slower is easier. But slower, it means that you stay a long time on the trails. I won in, I don't remember, 22 or something, 23 hours, and we did in 39 hours. That is a pretty good time. She finished third in his category, so that's good. But it's a different experience. It's also different with the runners because a lot of runners knew me, so they discuss. I spent a lot of time to discuss with the runner around. So, but it was not that easy because when you are not at your pace, especially downhill, it's quite difficult. And my legs was really hard at the end of the race.
So one thing I noticed, I was looking at your Strava, and I noticed that you had run into Jeff Browning over on Handies.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm sure you get asked these questions all the time about, longevity and aging and maintaining high performance over a long period of time. And basically you and Jeff Browning are the two great examples of that in this modern era of trail running. I don't know if there's anything you want to say about specifically Jeff and the relationship maybe that you guys have, but I'm sure the audience would also love to hear you talk about maintaining health and motivation and high performance as you get older.
Yeah, I met him when I went down from Andes. After the 2 soft rocks, I wanted to make some to have some training a bit faster. So I try, to be quite fast on the up and downhill. And I met him there. So there's no secret, I think. He's running for a long time. I met him in Western. No secret. But I still get motivated to race, to discover a new race like Hardrock. That was one of my objectives. And you have another motivation also when you are coming old, let's say. It's still to race with younger people. It's also a motivation that you can maybe not beat them, but you can at least try to. So discover new race, still good motivation, and discover new country also. So. Will you guys Hardrock.
Will you guys do a little holiday after Hardrock?
Yeah, we will stay until end of July.
Great.
So last year between Western States and Hardrock, we did a long trip in US on all the national park.
Right.
And that was really nice. And there's one that we have not done. It's Yellowstone. We will do this time. So
beautiful, amazing. What do you? Not to look past Hardrock at all. Will you be at UTMB or Diagonal de Fou later in the year?
I will take the start of UTMB. Yeah,
of course you will.
No, not of course, because my first UTMB was in 2004.
Yeah.
And now it's 20 years after.
20 years,
I want to do this birthday, let's say. Anniversary, you say?
Anniversary, yes.
Yeah. So I will do 20 years ago. 20 years later, I want to see. In 2004, I dropped the race. So I hope this one I can finish.
You have to finish. Well, you started the conversation by saying you're not Courtney, but of course, Courtney did that last year. Francois did it the year before, or Killian did it the year before. Francois did it the year before that.
Courtney is the only one that did 3. Huh?
3, yes. That's
and
true.
if you are counting in less than 1 year, she won also Diagonal de Fou in the same year. It's the same 12 months.
Wow, I had never put that together.
Yeah, so that's
wow.
In less than 12 months.
Unbelievable.
For me, she won the 4 most precious. 100 miles. So.
Maybe final question for you. Say a few words about the team that's going to be helping you on Friday, crew, pacers, and any goals that you have for your first Hardrock.
Yeah, as usual, my crew will be my wife. Céline. So she's following me on all the races. So that's my main crew, and I trust on her. So, and for the pacers, I have 2. One that is one of my friend when I train with him, and he paced me on my first Western State also. And the second one is Arthur Joy-Bouillon, that is running, well known in trail running also. Yeah. So, it will be nice. The plan is that Jeremy will start until Animas 4. Yeah. Then Arthur will do until Cunningham. And Jeremy the end. Okay. That's the plan, because Arthur wants to train also for UTMB. Yeah. So he wants to do a long part.
Long stretch. And I'm sure he's also thinking like you last year with Pirelli, and he's like, I want to download this course so that eventually Arthur will
he's applying for 3 years, I think. Yeah. Grégoire Kermer that will pace Diego is applying for 5 or 6.
Oh, Greg was here too.
Yeah, okay, Grégoire is here and he will pace Diego.
Okay.
So that's
amazing. Well, Ludo, you're a great champion, and it's been great to obviously follow your career for such a long time. And I know you've wanted to do Hardrock for many years now. It's great to see you finally with that opportunity. I wish you best of luck, and I'm looking forward to seeing you out on the course.
Thanks. After being a soft rocker, I hope that I will be a hard rocker.
Hard rocker, yeah.
Let's see.
All right, Ludo. Thanks so much.
Thanks.